Somebody say, Lord, I love you.
Lord, I love you.
Bless your name, Jesus. Come on. Back to the top. Say, oh, 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 oh,
I just want to tell you. Can y'all tell them that you love them? Lord, I love you. More than anything. Oh, because you first loved me, Lord, I love you. I love you, Jesus. Even when I'm down, I gotta worship and adore you. Just want to tell you.
It's not on you. The burden of proof is on the Lord. And remember, he shall bring, you are anointed to bring many to righteousness. So I go there, I preach Pastor my initial sermon. It goes pretty well, and God honors the moment. And then I get called to a church, a little church with 25 people. I'm 21 years old. I get called to pastor a church with 25 people, and I'm a part, and my name is Guns. And in Virginia and in Tidewater, Guns was a pretty strong name because my brother pastored Second Calvary, my dad pastored Apocenia, and I pastored this little church in the rural area of Chesapeake. And so I was a part of the ministers conference where they were killing up something in Tidewater, and so they wanted to have a service. They wanted to have a service, if you will, to combat the violence. I'm 24 years old, and so they put me on the committee because my last name is Guns. My last name is Guns, not because my first name is John. John didn't start counting till John grew up. Guns counted from the beginning. You missed it. That's why you need to give your last name credibility so your kids don't have to call their first one till they grow up. Missed it. That's okay. You'll catch it one day. And so they put me on the committee, Pastor. They put me on the committee. I'm sitting there on the committee. And then they say, you know what? We need a young preacher to preach this service. So they asked me to preach the service, the citywide service on violence. You know, I didn't know any better. I agreed. I'm 24 years old. I get to the church, Shiloh Baptist Church on Park Avenue, across from Norfolk State University. And it's 1,000 people in the room. Now, I ain't never preached to no more than 100. So now there's 1,000 people in the room, and I'm sitting there scared, shaking like a leaf, and I hear the words of my mother, and ye shall bring many to righteousness, and the burden of proof is not on you, the burden of proof is on the Lord. So I'm sitting there, and there it is. The burden of proof is not on you, the burden of proof is on the Lord. And he said, remember your trial sermon. I said, fine. So I preach. It goes pretty well. Well, a few years later, I get a chance to preach for the state convention. I'm scared because there's 2,000 people there sitting in the chair. I'm shaking, and I hear a voice. The burden of proof is not on you, the burden of proof is on the Lord, and you shall bring many to righteousness. Oh, I got it. I get up and I preach. Well, a few years later, I get called to preach at the Hampton Ministers Conference. It's 10,000 people there, preachers from all over the country. I'm sitting there shaking like a leaf, and I hear the voice say, the burden of proof is not on you, the burden of proof is on the Lord, and you shall bring many to righteousness. Oh, I got it. So I stand up, I preach. For 3 days, it goes well. I go to Jake's, and while I'm standing in Jake's, in the pulpit, shaking like a leaf, I hear the voice say, the burden of proof is not on you, the burden, have you caught it yet? When God gives you confirmation, it follows you everywhere you go. And when the devil tries to make you believe you ain't capable, the Lord will say, remember the oil. Is there anybody here that has a confirmation moment when God stamped and approved you? He said, I did it. So when I elevate you, slap somebody high five and tell them, remember the oil. Sit. I'm keeping you too long. Here's where you start having confidence to not blow your moments. Because you remember the oil. You remember what the Lord said to you. And even though other people don't celebrate it, it's so heavy of a moment till it empowers you to have the confidence to try this one more time. But here's the second thing, real quick. Watch this. Now, I need to give you this point because confidence comes when you possess an unquenchable faith, birthed out of a series of victories you give credit to God for. Okay, watch this. Verse 37, real quick. David says, the Lord has saved me from lions and bears, and he will save me from the Philistine. Okay. The Lord has saved me from lions and bears. He's given me a template for how to defeat lions and bears, and it also works on giants. Ooh, one day I'm gonna be a better preacher, and when I am, it's gonna be hell to pay. Watch this. Here's the amazing thing, is a part of where your confidence comes is when you start paying attention to the little victories. And the little victory starts to birth great confidence. Let me tell you how many of you have missed your little victories. Because you keep thinking your little victories is that you defeat everything. No, some of your victories is that it didn't defeat you. Okay, here it is. I want to make 8 of y'all just go to running in about 32 seconds. Here it is. Your victories is that when it made other folk lose their mind, it made you keep going. Okay. I swear I wrote, they ought to shout right there. I don't want to talk tonight about the stuff you beat. I want to talk about the stuff that didn't beat you. I don't want to talk about the people that you won. I want to talk about the people the devil used to break you, and they end up breaking before you did. I don't want to talk about the situations you prospered in. I want to talk about the situations that didn't steal your joy. You kept showing up every Sunday. You kept forgiving him. You kept cooking his eggs. You kept bringing home the check. It didn't matter what they did to you. You kept your integrity. You kept your praise. You kept your focus. And after all the stuff they did to you, all you did was say, and to God be the glory. Is there anybody here that will holler lions and bears, lions and bears, lions and